1-3.
Ayah number 13, Surah Nisa. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تلك حدود الله ومن يطع الله ورسوله يدخله جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها وذلك الفوز العظيم ومن يعص الله ورسوله ويتعدى حدوده يدخله نارا خالدا فيها وله عذاب مهين واللاتي يأتين الفاحشة من نسائكم فاستشهدوا عليهن أربعة منكم فإن شهدوا فأمسكوهن في البيوت حتى يتوفاهن الموت أو يجعل الله لهن سبيلا واللذان يأتيانها منكم فآذوهما فإن تابا وأصلحا فأعرضوا عنهما إن الله كان توابا رحيما إنما التوبة على الله للذين يعملون السوء بجهالة ثم يتوبون من قريب فأولئك يتوب الله عليهم وكان الله عليما حكيما وليست التوبة للذين يعملون السيئات حتى إذا حضر أحدهم الموت قال إني تبت الآن ولا الذين يموتون وهم كفار أولئك أعتدنا لهم عذابا أليما صدق الله العظيم. So ayah number 13th is talking about tilka hududullah. These are the laws set by Allah. And وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ, and a person who obeys Allah and His Prophet, يُدْخِلْهُ جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي, Allah will enter him into paradise. And there will be تَجْرِي مِن تَحْتِ الْأَنْهَارِ, there will be lakes flowing, lakefront houses, right? وَذَلِكَ الْفَوْزُ الْعَظِيمُ, and this is the big success. And وَمَنْ يَعْصِ اللَّهَ, and for that person who disobeys Allah and His Rasul, وَيَتَعَدَّ حُدُودَ, and he challenges the law of Allah, يُدْخِلُ نَارًا خَالِدًا فِيهَا, Allah will enter him into Jahannam, in which he is going to live forever. وَلَهُ عَذَابٌ مُهِينٌ, and for him is punishment which will be very disgraceful. Muheen, disgraceful. So these two ayat are talking about hududullah. What is the difference between hududullah and a general rule of Allah? The difference here is that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about a sinful act, that if you will do this sinful act, then the punishment for this sinful act is this. Right? So the punishment is stipulated by Allah. Right? It is called hudud. Okay, for example, if you break your fasting deliberately in Ramadan, you broke your fast deliberately, amadan, deliberately, then the punishment is 60 fasts. So these 60 fasts are the punishment. Okay? Similarly, if you, al-a'adhu billah, commit zina and you are married, then rajm, then this person should be stoned to death. And if a person who commits zina is not married, then the punishment is whipping, 100 whips. And there are so many other punishments. So these are hududullah. Okay? So Allah said that these are the hududullah, and all you have to do is obey. In hudud of Allah, you cannot have your say. No. Achha, why is Allah saying hududullah here? What is Allah referring to? Allah is referring to what? Miras. Miras. Inheritance. Because ayah number 11 and 12 are talking about warasat. Right? Who gets what? Right? So I skipped those ayahs because it has to do with distribution of warasat. So I thought you would get confused with that. But I can give you a summary of it. Right? And the summary is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had mentioned the amount that every inheritor will get. Right? Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had stipulated that. Let's say a person passed away, he left behind his wife. Let's say he has one son, one daughter, right? Mom, right? So who will get how much? What is the portion? Share of each inheritor. It is not left upon people to decide. Right? The share for every inheritor, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has stipulated a share. Right? So these are hududullah. This is why if you look into ayah number 11 for example, and look at the very end of ayah number 11. They give ayah number 11. When it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this ayah mentioned the share, who will get how much? Then Allah is concluding this ayah by saying Faridatan min Allah. The distribution of inheritance is Faridatan min Allah. It is mandatory upon you. And it had been made mandatory by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? So it's not nafil, farida. It is fard. Eh? Yes, so it is fard. Now look at ayah number 12, the next ayah. The next ayah is ending by wasiyyatan min Allah. Wasiyyatan min Allah, that this is the order from Allah. The faridatan min Allah and wasiyyatan min Allah. And it has to do with what? Inheritance. Right? So we learned that these are hududullah. And in hudud of Allah, right, whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has stipulated, that goes. You cannot have your own way. Right? So now Allah is saying, in the same way, understand that all the hudud of Allah, right, that Allah had mentioned in Quran or our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned in Hadith, وَمَن يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ. Your job should be to follow Allah, be obedient to Allah and Rasul, and don't challenge. Don't challenge why the son gets this, why mom gets this, how much. Why is it that the mom gets 1/8 sometime 1/4? Sometime the son gets this much, daughter gets this much, mother gets this. Why? I don't agree. If you don't agree, you al-ayadu billah, you are out of Islam. Because Allah is saying, Faridatan min Allah. You are saying, I don't agree. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَمَنْ يَعْصِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ. If you disobey Allah and Rasul and challenge Allah's laws, you are challenging. So Allah said, then I will enter into you into Jahannam for sure. So this is why the laws of warasat are very important. अजीब बात है कि in our families, it is not mentioned. People don't even know. अजीब बात है. This is why अजीब बात है कि what we are taught in our homes sometimes are cultural things, not the real Islam. Right? In Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about all of these things. We don't mention it. Right? We are mentioning stories and this and that. Of this story, Buzurg and all that. But that's not Quran. ठीक है? Whenever you have time. But most important is Quran. What is Quran teaching us? What is Quran teaching us?
ये बात करनी चाहिए।
मामलात Quran is teaching. आप देखें ना, such a long ayah, then Allah is following up with these two supplementary ayahs. कि भाई don't transgress, follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is more important. आप सुने, if you did not give the share after your parents' death to your brother, to your sister, to your mom, आप सुने, so you have transgressed the law of Allah. You will go to Jahannam just for that. आप सोचिए, just for that you will go to Jahannam. And I'm not saying it, Allah is saying, right? Yeah, وَيَدْخُلُ نَارٍ خَالِدًا فِيهَا. Right? So the elder brother sometimes keeps everything. Dad passed away, now all the money, the big brother keeps it. Sisters, mom, nobody gets nothing. Okay? So we have to come to the deen of Quran. Okay? Learn what is important in Quran. Right? The rest is mashallah good, very good. Right? But the more you learn Quran, the more you understand Allah put emphasis on these transactions, everyday life. देखिए, मैं फिर रिपीट करता हूँ, there is a reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is Alimun Hakim, He did not talk about ibadat, sushia. I have been saying it for years, but think about it. Allah Rabbul Alameen did not give details about ibadat, but Allah is talking with great detail about financial matters, about akhlaq, mu'amalat. Why? Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you and me to be good in this, right? And of course in ibadat as well. But first be good here. Right? First be good here. And our downfall is because we are not good here, we are trying to be good in namaz, roza, hajj, zakat, which is important. That it does not. But this is more important than that.
This creates enmity.
Yeah. Then you will not go. Again, you have grudge in your heart. Quran is saying, yeah, in the one. So Allah is talking about not having grudge, but we have grudge. Rasulullah said, with grudge, none of your good deeds are accepted by Allah. Until you until you patch up your differences with any Muslim that you have. So akhlaq, ma'amlat, ma'ashar, Allah had emphasized upon. So you and I are all in the same boat. If we are in Pakistan or Bangladesh, India or Egypt, wherever, from Egypt, I just happened to glance on CNN today. So CNN was saying that from Egypt, if you check, it's still there. This news is still there. Say that in Egypt, doctors are leaving Egypt in droves. In droves. One of the most ancient country. Islam was there since Sahaba. But doctors are leaving Egypt in droves. Corruption. Where are they coming? West. Why are they coming? They don't have namaz, roza, hajj, zakat, but they have akhlaq, ma'ashrat, ma'amlat. So, this is what it is. So we have to come. We have run away from our country because of that. And we are trying to do the same here. We are trying to do the same again. We are again concentrating on salah only. And nothing else. So, anyhow, this is something that is very important. And our younger generation or generations to come will leave Islam because of our bad mu'amalat. You can pray tahajjud and ishraq and awabin and all that. But if we are not good in our akhlaq, our children will leave Islam. Because they see nice people outside. We see nice people outside. They say, you are praying salah, my dad is praying salah, my mom is praying salah in the tahajjud. What is the use of it? When we don't have akhlaq, muamalat, ma'ashra, when we are despicable people, so they say, so they will leave. Children will leave. This is why children will leave Islam because of two reasons. One, Ali Rahmatullah said, if we don't do dawah to non-believers, a time will come when you will not be allowed to worship your deen, like what's happening in India. So your children will leave. I die rich. Dawah is not my cup of tea. Why should I talk about Islam? Why should I call people about Islam? So what will happen? Your children will leave Islam. This generation or next generation. Definitely leave Islam. Only dawah is the only thing that would instill yaqeen in the hearts of children. Until new Muslim come to Islam, old people will die, their children will not be Muslim anymore. Maybe one generation, two generations, like what's happening in England and Australia and in South Africa, Guyana, South America. I have been telling people, do dawah, to protect yourself and your generations. Ghair Muslimin, dawah, do dawah. Among Muslimin important, this is tazkir, this is not dawah. We are learning Quran, it's not dawah, this is tazkir. وَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ الذِّكْرَ تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ not تَنْفَعُ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. So Allah is saying, among yourself, وَتَوَاصَوْ بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْ بِالصَّبْرِ, very important. But this is not a substitute for dawah. Dawah is what Rasulullah said, did to kuffar, mushrikeen.
They're so thirsty and
Yeah. So when you do dawah to non-Muslims, what you are doing is that your children are watching. They are growing in iman. Again, in our masjid, when an American becomes Muslim, everybody's iman shoots up. Our children are making friendship with these new Muslims. Now our children are growing in iman, right? Because they are teaching them and learning from them. Actually, this is how Islam spread. Once you say, "Hey, I'm a very weak Muslim, let me work on my iman and all that stuff," you will never be able to do it. Your children will go down, you will go down. You will go down. Okay? So you have to do dawah in order to protect yourself and your generation from becoming murtad. Dekhiye, a person who is a da'i, you will never see his children leaving Islam. Never. Da'i. His children are learning from their mom, dad. Right? You are just keeping yourself tahajjud, you are praying tahajjud, all the awabin, ishraq, your children will leave Islam. Why? Because they don't see Islam in action. Most of us are munafiq in amal. We are munafiq in amal. If I deal with you on anything, malum ho jayega. Dealing with you on any matter, khatam. Anything. You will munafiqat. Like we said, one of the biggest munafiqat is when you backbite, you do ghibat. And it becomes even worse. Worst form of ghibat is when you are praying behind the imam and he says, "Wala dallin," and you say, "Ameen." And right after this, you are doing his ghibat. It's worldwide. It's worldwide. You pray namaz, salah behind an imam, and right after that, you are doing ghibat. This is munafiqat. And when you are in trouble, something happens, you come to the same Imam, you say, Maasab, please, dua kariye, bahut musibat hai. Allah Ta'ala aapki sunega. How come Allah Ta'ala aapki sunega? This is munafiqat. This is why it is said, ulamas will not go into Jannah because of their amal. They will go because of people. Because there's one Imam and there's 5,000 people. Everyone, illa mashallah, had been doing ghibat. Like I have been here for 30 years. In July it will be 30 years. Nearly everybody, illa mashallah, had done my ghibat. Now, previous year. So many people are transferring their good deeds into my account. Profit. But 5,000 people are transferring their good deeds into my account. And they are taking my bad deeds from my account. So, this is a very good thing for me. So, but well, we are saying that this is called munafiqat in amal. Munafiqat in amal. And most of the people who do ghibat are the people who come to the masjid. People who don't come to the masjid, most of them, they don't do ghibat of their imam. Some of them still do, but most of the people are the ones who come to the masjid, who pray and then they will do ghibat. You know. So this is something which is very common, and this is in every masjid, in every Islamic center, every country, everywhere. Okay? So that is munafiqat in amal. Anyhow, so what I'm saying is that these are the ayat of Quran, right? That are talking about hududullah, right? So brothers, let's be sure that in our deen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had explained these ayat in detail. This is deen. Okay? So we should understand them, teach them. Any financial dealing, very, very cautious. Okay, so here, okay, so far in Surah Nisa, two topics Allah have dealt in detail. One is regarding yatama, right? And second is warasat. Both of them have to do with what? Either women or children. Because these two groups of people were oppressed in Jahiliyyah.
Still vulnerable.
Yeah, still, but at that time they were terribly oppressed by mushrikeen before Rasulullah became Nabi. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Quran, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting a stop to this zulm upon often children and upon women. Because in warasat, in law of inheritance, in Jahiliyyah, women were not getting a dime, no share whatsoever. Are there? No. So Allah revealed these ayat. So Allah is giving, is protecting yatama, orphan children and women, giving them equal rights. Right? But at the same time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to balance it out. One problem with the society in Makkah was, or in Arab was, zina, adultery. And that also when a married woman is committing it, it becomes even worse. Just like it's happening nowadays. In 1400 years, the world has come back to where it had started at the time of Rasulullah, or where it was at the time of Rasulullah. Now zina is everywhere. In zina, what happened is that the woman's name is tarnished, his life is kind of ruined completely. Right? Imagine, even in today's this torn society, even in US, where we are sitting and living, if a married woman, even among non-Muslims, is found to be doing adultery, right? Cheating, her life is finished. Her life is, the husband will leave her and all that. She will get a bad name that she is an unfaithful woman. her life is finished, done. Even in this so much immoral society where everybody is committing zina, illa mashallah. Right? So during the day of Jahiliyyah, what happened was that there was zina everywhere, especially among women. Married women. That was one thing. Second problem was that women, right, among the families, when let's say a sister-in-law, right, a sister-in-law is not liking or loving her brother's wife. Right? So what she'll do is she'll say, okay, one way to tarnish her life is to accuse her of zina. And she'll go to her brother and say, Bhaijan, where did you marry? What happened? Do you know your wife? What? Oh, you do not know nothing. When you go to work, I have seen. She has physical relationship with another man. Well, I have seen her, I'm telling you. When a husband is told about his own sister is telling us. Now, that woman is a clean lady, but this jealousy, hatred of in-laws, right? Same thing with mother-in-law. Mother-in-law accused her daughter-in-law of. So the son accepted and divorced her and all that. So here, women were what? They were oppressed here. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave very balanced ahkam. Very balanced ahkam in these two ayahs. One is that if somebody accuses a woman of adultery and she is married, then the testimony will be accepted by 4 men. No woman testimony would be accepted against a woman. Regarding a woman's adultery case. So that if second is that when a man and a woman are committing zina, right, it's not one act. These are 2 acts. Why? Because 2 individuals are committing an act. So these are actually 2 acts. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, no, I don't want 2 witnesses. I need 4 witnesses. In nikah, you need just 2 witnesses. But in divorce, divorce doesn't. But in zina, Allah said no. There is an act going on that had happened. So now there should be 4 witnesses. Now it is nearly impossible to get 4 witnesses. Allah is Alim Hakim. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is protecting the chastity and modesty or the name of that married woman. Why? Because Allah is saying it's a big thing, huge accusation that you accuse a married woman of adultery.
Impossible.
Yeah, and if you accuse her, you are bringing the whole family into question. You are giving a bad name to the whole family. Right? So Allah is saying that now not 1, not 2, 4 witnesses. Okay, let's say in a case which is very, very rare. Let's say if you do get 4 witnesses, let's say. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, okay, there is no punishment for that woman now. I will send down in Quran ayahs regarding that punishment later on. Right? Allah said, do 2 things right now. One is that you can reprimand her in different ways. And that is talk to her, tell her what a bad act she had done, and confine her in the house. Don't put her into prison and all that. She's a woman. So just confine her in her room, in her house. Don't tell her you're not allowed to go out. That's a punishment. It's like, what do you call it? It's a house arrest. Just keep her in the house arrest, and that is when it is proven. 4 witnesses have come forward that yes, I have seen her committing adultery, which is very rare, right? So put her under house arrest until I reveal ayat in Quran. Allah says. Right? Now Allah revealed in Surah Nur the punishment of this. الزانية والزاني فاجلدوا كل واحد منهما 100 جلدة. That if this couple is unmarried, then the punishment is whipping 100 whips, each one of them. And then Rasulullah said, if they are married, then rajam, stoning. Right? So these two punishments came later on. Here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the early days of Islam. So here you see Allah is protecting the name of a woman. So that not everybody can get up and accuse that, yeah, he's right. I saw her coming out from that person's house. So what? Like if a woman is coming out from somebody's house who is not a husband or something, this is not good enough to accuse. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving like a lesson to women as well to protect her chastity. So I'm now look into the ayah. وَاللَّاتِي يَأْتِينَ الْفَاحِشَةَ مِن نِسَائِكُمْ. Though that woman who had committed fahisha means zina, adultery, min nisaikum, amongst your women, fastashhidu alayhinna arba'atan minkum. Then look for 4 witnesses, right? And those 4 witnesses should be from amongst you. فَإِن شَهِدُوا, if you get 4 witnesses, then the punishment is house arrest. فَأَمْسِكُوهُنَّ فِي الْبُيُوتِ. Then is house arrest. Don't put her into jail or something, no, house arrest. حَتَّى يَتَوَفَّاهُنَّ الْمَوْتُ وَيَجْعَلَ اللَّهُ لَهُنَّ سَبِيلًا. Put her in the house arrest. If she passes away from this world, that's her destiny. Or يَجْعَلَ اللَّهُ لَهُنَّ سَبِيلًا. Or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to make a way out for her. And that is, wait for my next hukum, next ayah of Quran, which happened in Surah Nur, that they should be stoned. وَالَّذَانِ يَأْتِيَانِهَا مِنْكُمْ فَآذُوهُمَا. And those men, right, who do the same, right, then you should give them punishment. But for intab, after punishment, if they make tawbah, and they rectify, they reform themselves, then leave them alone. Right? Inna Allah kana tawwab rahima. Know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is tawwab. Allah accepts tawbah and Allah is rahim. Meaning after the punishment, they made tawbah and they rectified their life. Now don't taunt them, don't even mention what they had done in the past. So after tawbah, after a person changes his life, right, we should not taunt them, we should not talk bad about them. Why? Because Allah is Tawwab and Allah is Rahim. Right? And now, so these ayahs teaches us the how Allah protected the name and the respect of women, right? The Quran is a book that is actually a book of mercy for everyone, but especially for women. Especially for women, Quran is a rahmat, is such a big mercy. Yes.
You said there must be 4 witnesses. Now, if the 2 witness and then the other 2 they said no, we did not see anything.
So no.
So, but she did some sin, but she will still be banished from Allah.
No, in
If
this
she-
world, no. If 2 people come forward and no, then no.
So she will be.
She will not be punished like that. Now it will be up to the judge to decide.
If she did the sin and then 2 witnesses only.
Arey bhai, 4 witnesses have to be there. 2 witnesses not good enough.
But if she did the sin, and the 2 witnesses agree, so she still be banished from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
4.
Okay.
Even if the 2 could come, no. 4.
Even if 3.
No, 3. Yes. चलो सब दुआ कर लो अल्लाह सलाम रब्बना ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين.